So really, they have 6 starters on this team that are ready to go for the Hesston Swathers under the direction of Greg Raleigh. For Southeast of Saline, Camden Spano Lund is in the starting lineup tonight. Camden, a newcomer to the Southeast of Saline team 1 year ago, started mid-season and was really a great contributor in guard. And Jackson Gebhardt will also be in the starting lineup. 9 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists from a year ago. Brian Banks was this team leading scorer and rebounder. Bryant, 13 points and 5 rebounds from a year ago. Eli Harris is in the starting lineup. The senior, 7 points, 3.5 rebounds, and 2 assists in his junior campaign. And Eli Sawyers, what a sensational freshman season for Eli. 10.7 points per game, 5 rebounds, and an assist for Sawyers. Already named one of the top sophomores. What is that, 2024 is his class? It's just hard for me to fathom in the state of Kansas.
I'm running out of fingers, but I think it's well warranted. You're exactly right. He's the dark horse of this season to me. Again, much like we talked about Schlesner garnering a lot of attention, from other teams, Sawyers is on the map. Teams know about him, and well-deserved. The kid can play. He can play inside. He can stretch you outside. He can run up and down the court. It'll be interesting to see how he progresses tonight and this year.
As you can tell, the Southeast Band in the house. Band members are allowed right now in the Purple Palace here at Southeast of Saline. Hesston starts out when they get a low post entry down on the block to Jackson Humphreys. That ball crawls off no good. Here comes Brian Banks with the rebound. He'll play it in the corner to Eli Harris. Harris with a left-handed dribble. Ball on the floor. Hesston diving after it. They're going to save possession now out on the break. Here comes Jackson Gebhardt, though, to break it up as the two teams exchange turnovers. Back the other way, left-hand side, Banks with it. Sawyers, a deep entry pass from Brian Banks, and had a swather on his back. First foul of the game will go against Hesston.
Hey, and I'll tell you what, on the steal right there by Southeast Saline, crafty by Gebhardt. Gebhardt didn't sprint. Gebhardt saw when the dribble would come from the left hand to the right hand, bumped the ball away. Here we go, Southeast Saline basketball.
Spano Lund on the baseline entry underneath the Trojans' basket. They're going to work an offensive play, though. It'll come back to Camden. He'll pop the three off the front of the rim, no good, and Hesston with the rebound. The Swathers will want to run, just like their girls' team. They'll get up and down the floor, wearing some crafty, very good-looking black jerseys trimmed in dark maroon and gray. Here's a dump down on the backside, and the first shot up and missed, but the putback is good by Braden Schilling. First basket of the game belongs to Hesston. 1 minute in, 2-0 Swathers. Southeast kicks it out. Gebhardt to Banks. His three-pointer on the way. That's no good. Jackson Gebhardt muscles the rebound away from a Swather, and the outside official is going to say that's a tie-up. Arrow will stay with Southeast. Already our first substitution. It's Braden Esau, the one I told you about. A little bit of illness last year, but Braden's back in there now, and he comes off the bench 1 minute and 7 seconds into this game. Spano Lund now trying to inbound it. He'll find Sawyers way out top near the Trojan logo script. Banks tries to drive. Little help side defense knocks the ball away, and Southeast of Saline has their second turnover. Here come the Swathers up the floor. A little stop and pop in the paint. Jackson Humphreys shut down. Now out for a three-pointer that is up and no good from Nick Arnold. Here comes Gebhardt racing back the other way. Jackson gets to the free throw line. Little spin move. Tried to play it out to Camden Spano Lund on the corner, and that ball trails to the corner a little too far. Goes out of bounds on the baseline. Southeast has 3 consecutive turnovers.
Well, and Devin, right there, that's just how basketball's progressed. Back in our day, when you have transition, you're looking to take the ball to the basket, and your players are going to come with you. Right there, Southeast drifted off to the three-point line. Spano Lund was supposed to be on the baseline, wasn't there.
Here's a good take to the basket by Hesston. Eli Harris there to shut it down. Loose ball out near the Southeast bench, and now a foul will be called on Spano Lund. Camden will get his first foul. It's also Southeast of Saline's first team foul, and another substitution here by Greg Raleigh. Boy, he's going to keep him coming as needs Ty Schroeder in the game for the Swathers.
It's a scary thing when they're just firing in athletes left and right like this.
Yes, sir. Of course, Brian Banks wearing that big knee brace on his left leg, sustained a knee injury against Smoky Valley's Vikings in district play of the football season. But Bryson Flax told me he's still figuring it out a little bit on the basketball court, but he's moving well. Opted to not have it fixed and miss time. Going to play through it here in his senior year. Banks up top with the ball. Goes to Jackson Gebhardt, top of the circle. Here's the first entry into Eli Sawyers, and he scores easily. As it looked, it wasn't an easy play, though, as that ball drifted away from him, and Eli was able to scoop it up and score.
It's easy to be tall. It's not easy to make catches like that. Great hands by Sawyers with the finish.
Here's a triple team inside, and a Hesston player has the ball swatted out of there. It was an attempt by Kason Richardson, the leading scorer on this Hesston team. and it goes out of bounds. It will stay with Hesston underneath their own basket. 2:20 into this contest. We're all tied up at 2. There's a partial block now by Gebhardt, and Jackson's going to take it away, bring it the other way on offense. Jackson now plays it to the right-hand side. Spano Lund has it now to Bryant Banks. Banks has it stripped away. Boy, Bryant showed that basketball in the active hands of Ty Schroeder, just took it away, and it ends up with a finger roll on the other end. Schroeder coast to coast for 2. Southeast back here the other side. Sawyer standing out in three-point territory. Wants to drive baseline. Now a skip pass that goes up over the basket and out of bounds. And the officials are going to say that was deflected coming out of the shoot. It'll stay with Southeast.
And it looks like we're questioning the call right here. We don't know if we got it right, but it looks like at the end of the day it's going to stay with Southeast.
Nick Arnold back into the game. He will replace Ben Bollinger. Sawyer's with it off the inbounds. Gets it to Jackson Gebhardt. Gebhardt loses a defender who's gambling for the steal. Now back to Sawyer's. Little penetration. Now they'll swing it around the perimeter. Here's Gebhardt driving again. Reverse layup off the window is good. Jackson Gebhardt just scores his first 2, and he's tied this game at 4. Trojans look game here early on in this one.
Crafty play by Gebhardt, using the rim to keep the defenders off. Great play.
I don't know how many times he broke a run during the football season, and I mentioned it several times. Just looks like he's effortless, although he's outrunning everybody. Here's a shot inside now on a putback for Braden Esau as he scores his first 2, 6-4 Hesston. Number 1 ranked team in the state, up by a bucket. Here's Jackson Gebhardt charging into a swather. Jackson will be called for that. It's a second team foul against Southeast of Saline.
And right there, Jackson went with a big jump stop while he was in the air, got himself out of position. Great defensive play by Hesston. But again, you like to see that attitude. Take it to the bucket. Don't settle for the easy. When I say easy, the open 20-footer attack and see what you can do.
And that's a tricky call for officials, too, because you have one side of the contact, but you have the other side of did the defender give them room to land when they leave their feet like that.
You're exactly right. And as the game changes every single season, we see the offense with more liberties, with, the ability to do more. We see the Euro step. We see more steps. The defense is running out of places to stand.
Ironically, one of the first people I saw to do that, to leave their feet and just kind of float through the air like that, was a girl. Her name was Jackie Stiles. She was pretty good.
Not too shabby.
Here's a bucket by Nick Arnold on his offensive end. He's extended this Hesston lead down, backed up to 4. Actually, Jackie's sister, Roxanne, was probably even better at that move. Here's a shot now by Camden Spano Lund.
What?
He got it partially blocked, and then Eli Sawyer's fighting off a swather, goes in and just tips the ball from underneath. And I'm not talking at the rim. I'm talking the ball was probably 7 feet away from the rim, and it goes up and goes in. Eli gets another 2, but another attack to the rim here by the Hesston Swathers as Kason Richardson will score his first basket of the night. Boy, how about that play by Eli Sawyers?
Well, I'm glad that more people than ever are watching tonight, because there's no way words can explain what just happened right there. And again, we talked about his hands earlier. He just seems to be in the right place. That's the nature of his game, and he just showed his hands again. A wide receiver on the football team, showing why those hands are so effective and so valuable.
10-6, Hesston back up by 4. We do understand there's some buffering issues and maybe some connectivity issues. It's the Verizon signal in this gym. Don't worry, we will. If you're not seeing it live, we will archive the game on Salina Post. You can go back and view it all weekend long. Here's Brian Banks with the basketball. He'll drive and now kick it out to Camden Spano Lund, who gets his first basket of the night. It's a three-pointer from the right wing, and Southeast is back within 1. 2:48 left to go, opening quarter. This has been a fun quarter of basketball so far.
And this is exactly what we expected. One established great team, one really, really good team in Southeast, hoping to make it to that next level, being a great team.
Luke Gebhardt's into the game. Eli Sawyers just got called with his first foul, shadowing the defense and got a little too aggressive against Braden Schilling. For Sawyers, that is his first, third team foul against Southeast of Saline. Back into the contest for Hesston, Kason Richardson, along with Ben Bollinger. And as you said, Tyler, these guys all fall between 6'2 and 6'5. There's really no who do I guard, you take this big guy, you take this big guy. But Southeast is just like that, a lot like the girls' game.
They are a lot of length from them as well. Spano Lund's right now, the only true guard body type out there. The rest of them lengthy.
There's a shot now that is denied. It's going to be a jump ball. Sawyers and Luke Gebhardt doing a really good job down on that low post. They're going to tie up a Hesston shooter. It'll still be Swather ball. They'll have to inbound underneath their own basket. 10-9. Hesston leading by 1. There's an easy pass inside, but the bucket is missed by Braden Schilling. Here comes Southeast in transition. Jackson to Luke Gebhardt down around the corner. Luke tests the water along the baseline. Nothing there. Now a spin move and a kick out. Back to little brother Luke. Eli Sawyers now has it on the wing. He passes right through the defense for a Gebhardt 3. Jackson can't get that one to go. Now the loose ball going to be picked up by the Hesston Swathers. Kai Schroeder has it. Schroeder back the other way now. He's going to give it up, and a shot in the lane. No good, but they get their own putback. That's not going to be any good. And Brian Banks rips it down. Here comes Banks in transition. He gets to the paint. Floater from 15 won't go. Rebound out of bounds. It will stay with Southeast of Saline. Boy, this Southeast team showing some grit early on against a very aggressive Hesston team.
Well, right there, Hesston got 0 points on the board because of things you'll never see on the stat line. Sawyers, 2 shots right there that he completely controlled the entire shot. There wasn't a block. He just altered the shot. Southeast Saline basketball.
Michael Murray, sophomore into the game early on. Murray last season appeared in 5 varsity games as a freshman. Luke Gebhardt, another sophomore, in there with him. Luke tried to drive and penetrate. It's taken away now by the Swathers. And floating to the rim inside of all kinds of traffic is Kason Richardson. That's why he's their leading scorer. 12-9 the score now. Hesston leading by 3. Sawyers with it. He swings it around. Murray for a corner 3. In and out, no good. And the rebound being fought for, secured by the Swathers, underneath by Braden Bruner. And now a double dribble in the middle of the paint. Hesston gives it up for the second time. 1:13 left to go in the first. 12-9 is our score. Swathers up by a big bucket. At the end of the first quarters, we check the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. Smoky Valley leading the Abilene Cowgirls 16-2. That's a Smoky Valley team that'll be in here on Tuesday. Here's Luke Gebhardt up top, little crossover, penetrated the defense. Now he's going to bring it back at Harris. Sawyers, now Spano Lund. Inside 1 minute left to go, first quarter, 12-9 Hesston, leading by 3. Here's a pass by Spano Lund, just got lazy there with the defense, and then Hesston secured it and then threw it into the backcourt, turned it back over.
Tough call, not completely sure.
Right.
Hesston had full, I don't know if they had possession of the basketball right there. Unfortunate play, just unfortunate position on the basketball court. Referee Jason Gordon with the call, giving a smile up here. I think he's one of the few people missing the crowd. I think he enjoys the heckles every once in a while and kind of getting into it. Props to this officiating crew. It must be nice for them not to hear those things.
Now another pass by Spano Lund that was cross court. The defense takes it away. Hesston trying to score, and they're going to be fouled from behind by Southeast of Saline. Free throws coming up, our first of the game, as the Swathers will step to the line. Kason Richardson was fouled from behind.
Smart foul by Spano Lund. Easy bucket right there for Richardson. Gets the foul, sent to the free throw line.
Second of the game for Camden. It'll be the 4th team foul for Southeast of Saline. Camden will have to come out. Spano Lund to the bench. And in for Southeast of Saline will be Drake Augustine for the first time. Drake, last season as a freshman, appeared in 11 varsity games. Brian Banks will also come in as he gets his path to the scorer's table. He'll replace Luke Gebhardt. 40 seconds left to go. It's a 4-point Swather lead. They can take their biggest lead of the game if this second free throw is successful by Richardson. And it is.
And disregard what I said about a smart foul. I sound like Bill Walton all of a sudden. Committing your second foul in the first quarter on an easy layup right there, probably not the smartest thing to do. I'll wear that one. That one's on me.
If you sounded like Bill Walton, I wouldn't be here.
You wouldn't have time to talk.
Yeah. Here's Michael Murray. Little token full court pressure here by Hesston with 33 seconds left to go in the opening quarter. Swathers with a 5-point lead. It's their biggest lead of the first. Southeast yet to lead here in this game. Sawyers has it now around the horn to Augustine. Drake will play it now to Eli Harris in the corner. Skip pass over the top of everything. Lands with Bryant Banks. And double B from the corner. Splashes a 3. 14-12. Boy, that was a big shot by Banks. And how about that pass? Sideline to sideline by Eli Harris. Backdoor cut now Swathers. They look for 2. Won't go. Loose ball off the back of one of the Swathers. And they're going to be called for a foul all over the shoulders of Eli Sawyers. Nick Arnold guilty of the foul. They said that was his first, and it is. I had second team foul for Hesston. 3.5 left. Augustine has it. Attacks the half-court stripe. He'll let it fly at the buzzer, and it's too strong. No good. But Southeast of Saline right there in it with the number one team in the state. 14-12 is our score at the end of one. Back with second quarter action. You're listening to Southeast of Saline basketball. It's brought to you by Assaria Hardware and Oil right here on KINA.
Whether on the field, court, or in the operating room, experience matters. A coach loves an experienced team just like a patient values an experienced doctor. Salina Ortho has ABOS board-certified physicians with over 40 years of orthopedic service. If you need help staying active or just want to discuss options regarding the newest techniques and services and specialties that Salina Ortho provides, see one of our trusted physicians or visit salinaortho.com. Salina Ortho, your voice, your choice, past, present, and future.
The human head weighs 10 pounds, but with TechNet, it can feel like 60 pounds. Dr. Cade Castleman here with Castleman Chiropractic. Screen slouch is a real problem for people of all ages these days. Our technology is affecting our posture, causing back problems, neck pain, and headaches. Call, book online, or stop in my Salina walk-in clinic every Thursday to learn how a simple chiropractic care plan will help you ease your pain, improve your sleep, and help you feel better every day.
Castleman Chiropractic in Salina, where caring comes first.
You're listening to Southeast Trojan Hoops on KINA.
Southeast of Saline will start the second quarter with the basketball. Devin Haney back here along with Tyler Smith as we have a doubleheader of Southeast Trojan basketball. And a check of your Bennington State Bank scoreboard coming up. 14-12, Hesston leading Southeast of Saline by 2. Here's Drake Augustine in the paint, little leaner to the glass. That won't go. Hesston now has the basketball going back the other way. Leading scorer in that first quarter, Kason Richardson. The Hesston Swather with 6. Here's a three-pointer now from the right-hand wing. That's no good. Michael Murray with the rebound. It's a 3-on-1 for Southeast. Banks will pull up out on the left wing. Now wait for help. Harris comes across the timeline late. He'll reset the offense. What did you think about that first quarter?
It was everything kind of we thought it would be. It was up and down. It was a heavyweight first round. Two teams just feeling each other out. Nobody got knocked out. That's the one thing. You want to keep your guard up, make sure you don't show too much. Both teams kind of did that.
Grant Stumpf coming in for Southeast of Saline. The senior will play in place of Michael Murray, who came out. 1 minute into the second, 14-12, Hesston leading. Arnold with the basketball at the free throw line. Guarded by Augustine. Now they dump it down low. And now back out near three-point lane. Braden Schilling has it for the Swathers. He'll play it around the horn now to Jackson Humphreys. Beautiful pass inside. And a basket by Kason Richardson. Looked awkward because he didn't take a dribble, but he took us a lot of 2 steps to the rim.
He did, and this would be interesting. Right now without Eli Sawyers in the lineup getting a breather to see what happens and see how we can play defense down low, without the main cog in there.
Jackson Gebhardt unleashes a 3 from the right wing. That hits the front of the rim, no good. Here come the Swathers back the other way, but Gebhardt steals it and could not tightrope the sidelines as he was coming down the far side. And he turns it right back over. That's the third time tonight. We've had a quick change, turnover type situation. These two teams playing really hard and getting after it defensively. Quick check of that Bennington State Bank scoreboard. It's a girls' score. Inman tonight beats Minneapolis 38-29. That's a final. Now knifing his way to the basket for the Swathers is Jackson Humphreys. He'll get his first 2 of the night. Southeast now trailing by 6, their largest deficit here in the first half. Banks with it, now to Stump. Goes right through the hands of Eli Harris and out of bounds. 3 turnovers here early on for Southeast of Saline. 18-12 the score, 5:56 left to go here in the second quarter. Schilling has it, left wing for the Swathers. Quick move down inside and a block up top by Grant Stumpf. Boy, that was a wide open layup for the Swathers, and Stumpf took it away. Here's Gebhardt now. He'd drive baseline and draw the foul. Let's go to that play by Grant Stumpf on defense. That's exactly what you need him to do in his senior year, isn't it?
Oh, 100%. First of all, what Hesston's been doing, they've been isolating guards down low, trying to get that smaller defender from Southeast Saline down on the block, and the help's been a little late earlier on. Grant Stumpf did a great job, and you're exactly right. That's what he needs to do. You need to find a role and go with that role. He's not going to be a Sawyers type that's going to come in and score 15 a game, but if he can give you valuable minutes like that, it's exactly what you can do.
There's the basket up and good for Southeast of Saline. Eli Harris with his first 2. Grant Stump appeared in 10 games last year for Southeast of Saline, but now in his senior year, he's going to be a contributor off the bench. Here's a back and forth move, a little beautiful move by Nick Arnold, and he'll score his second basket of the half. Back to a 6-point Hesston lead. 5:11 left to go before halftime. Here's Spano Lund with a step-back 3. He got it. Boy, he faked it, took a little dribble into the paint, and then came back out and was able to hit that 3. 5 minutes left to go. Back to a 3-point game. You just get the feeling with him when he shoots that outside shot, more times than not, it's going in.
You're 100% correct. It's that rhythm thing again. We talked about that in the girls' game. Spano Lund gets the rhythm. You want that shot going up more often than not.
Here's a drive to the basket for Hesston by Kason Richardson. Southeast of Saline will foul him and send him back to the free throw line. Richardson's the only player in this game to shoot free throws. That foul against Grant Stump is his first. Nobody with more than 1 foul in this game except for Camden Spano Lund for Southeast of Saline. First free throw is up, no good. Nick Arnold does have 2 for Hesston, and he's going to check out. 5 team fouls for Southeast, 3 for Hesston, 20-17 our score. Hesston leading by 3. Richardson can make it 4 on his second free throw. On the way, and it is good. He is 3 of 4 from the free throw line in this contest. 4:45 left to go, 21-17. Still working our way through second quarter action. We'll talk to Shauna Smith coming up at halftime. Here's Jackson Gebhardt inside. What a muscle move by Jackson Gebhardt. He couldn't get it to go. Are they going to call a foul? Yes, they are on Grant Stump. So Grant will pick up 2 quick fouls here for Southeast. 1 on the defensive end and 1 on the offensive end, going for a rebound. Full court pressure now for Southeast. Looked like Hesston carried that basketball through a trap. Now they're looking for a layup on the other end, and they get it off the bench. Braden Bruner with his first basket.
Great finish by Bryn right there. 2 Southeast defenders. He just went up strong.
Yeah, had a knife through 2 defenders. You're right. That was a great move there. Here's Sawyers now wanting to drive. Lots of contact. Gets knocked off his path. Plays it out to Spano Lund. His 3 on the way is no good. And a rebound underneath by Hesston. Richardson has it again. Here he comes into the paint. Finds a wide open Braden Esau for his second basket of the night. Esau has 2 in each quarter. And all of a sudden, Hesston up by 8. Gebhardt brings the ball down the floor. Now hands it off to Eli Harris. Harris looking for Gebhardt on the backdoor cut. He's not there. Hesston doing a good job defensively here in their man-to-man. Stump now has it in the corner. Up top of the circle to Gebhardt. Jackson looking to drive. Big step through across the defense and gets the roll. Pretty play by Jackson Gebhardt.
Extremely crafty by Gebhardt. We talked about that earlier. The jump step that, heck, he might have taken 3.5 steps, but you do them in the right sequence. It's not called these days. He knows that. Very crafty by number 5.
Look at the box score in the shooting chart right now. It'll tell you Jackson Gebhardt has 2 layups, but neither one of them were very easy. One was reverse, and then that one with a Hesston swather draped all over him. Hesston now misses their shot on the offensive end. The Southeast will throw it away. 4 turnovers here in this quarter, 9 for the game. Here's a spin move inside the defense, and a pretty finish by Jackson Humphreys. Humphreys now with 4. 27-19, back to an 8-point Swather lead. Grant Stump with the basketball. Up between the rings now, middle of the floor to Eli Harris. Harris swings the left-hand side in front of the Hesston bench to Eli Sawyers. Here's Sawyers going back and forth. He'll dump it off in the corner. Far side, Harris for 3. That won't go. And a long rebound creates a run out here for Richardson. Richardson goes to his trailing teammate. Layup, good. That's another one for Braden Schilling, and a timeout comes for Southeast of Saline. It's a 30-second timeout. We'll take it as well. A quick break, and it's a 10-point Swather lead here on KINA.
Okay, so insurance is something that we all need, but it really can be confusing. But did you know that there's an agency that you actually want to do business with? It's called Smart Insurance. The team at Smart Insurance can give you advice on what you need. And the most important part, they will help you understand everything related to your insurance coverage. Peace of mind and protection that you deserve. Smart Insurance, great to do business with and easy to find with 3 locations in Salina, Abilene, and Harrington. Get their number on Facebook and call them today.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline Basketball on KINA.
29-19, Hesston has sprinted out to a 10-point lead here midway through the second quarter. Now with 2:26 left to go before halftime. Southeast of Saline has the basketball. Spano Lund along with Bryant Banks, Jackson Gebhardt, Eli Sawyers, and Eli Harris on the floor for Southeast. Gebhardt in the corner. Gets the lob pass from Spano Lund up near the volleyball spike line. Now they work it around. All 5 guys touching the basketball here. They work it around to Sawyers for 3. Left-hand side, that won't go. Rebound on the backside by Hesston, and now a quick run out. They go to the rim again for a layup. Boy, Hesston just gets up and down the floor so fast.
They sure do. And if you're just watching the game, you're thinking they just go and straight pick. That's a schematic thing. They always send somebody. You've got to send somebody deep, and they're getting a lot of easy layups because of that.
You can call it cherry picking or you can call it testing your safety. Whatever you want to call it, they get somebody down the floor really quick.
Without a doubt.
Jackson Gebhardt is fouled here. Jackson will go to the free throw line and shoot the first free throws of the game for Southeast of Saline. That foul was against Ty Schroeder. He just got the layup on the other end. That's his first. Gebhardt's free throw is up and good. Jackson with 5 points so far. Leading scorer for Southeast is Spano Lund with 2 3-pointers. He has a total of 6. And he has just gone to the bench. Luke Gebhardt back into the contest. Jackson will try his second one. He got that one to go as well. So a momentary 12-point lead by Hesston, trimmed back to 10 at the free throw line by Jackson Gebhardt. 1:47 left to go before halftime. Deep post entry attempted here by Hesston. Esau has it. He's in a little bit of trouble. Now he kicks it out. 3-pointer on the way for the Swathers. Off the back of the heel. That's no good. And a fight for the rebound still going on. Now it's on the floor, and Hesston's going to win it. There's a block by Eli Sawyers.
Wow.
Boy, Esau thought he had a wide-open layup. Sawyers was trailing him from behind and sent it back off the glass. Esau now has it from a save back inside. Boy, these guys are just fighting for that ball, aren't they? Now Gebhardt has it after Eli Harris hit the deck and flipped it over his shoulder.
What a nasty sequence that both coaches, they'll love it. They'll love it. Just great hustle plays by both teams.
Sawyer's with it now, about 5 feet behind the three-point line. He'll give it up to Luke Gebhardt. Luke now to Jackson, who will go to the rim, and he is hammered coming down the left-hand side. Back to the free throw line goes Jackson Gebhardt. Inside 1 minute left to play, 57.2 seconds on the clock, and the 5th team foul on the Swathers. This will go against Braden Bruner, his first.
Well, I don't know what can be heard on the radio, but Hesston travels big. I know there's no fans in the stands, but that's a very large basketball team. They have a lot of basketball players, a lot of boys supporting their team, and they're making a lot of noise. Props to them for doing that.
Second free throw on the way.
And they did not agree with that foul call.
No, they didn't. Made the first, missed the second. Back to a 9-point advantage, though, for Hesston as Southeast is on a little mini 3-0 run here. 46 seconds left to go. Southeast not giving up here as they try to close that gap heading into the locker room at halftime. We talked about Hesston being number 1 preseason by the Basketball Coaches Association in Kansas. Southeast getting a little bit of recognition there. They were actually stacked up. I heard limited voting, though, across the state. Not even half of the coaches were voting going into week 1, but Southeast somewhere around 17 right now. There's a basket inside by Hesston. Here's Brian Banks trying the same movement on the other end, and Arnold is going to block him. There's a shot put up by 3. That's no good at the buzzer, and we are at halftime. 33-22 will be our scores. We hit the break. We come back. We will visit with Shauna Smith. It's all brought to you by Knopf Auto and Truck Accessories. We're at halftime, 33-22. Hesston leads Southeast of Saline right here on KINA. Back just about ready for third quarter action. Devin Haney along with Tyler Smith. A quick check of your Bennington State Bank scoreboard. We do have a girls' final from one of the league schools, Minneapolis girls tonight, tangling with Inman. Inman gets that victory 38-29. Also, Smoky Valley, who will be here on Tuesday, they were leading the Abilene girls big in the first half of that contest. For more scores tonight, it'll all happen Sacred Heart over El Saline, 58-45. So thank you for that, Tyler. Bennington State Bank scoreboard helping bring you those scores, and we'll have a full hour of scores and game wraps tonight from across the state of Kansas on the Kansas Information Network High School Basketball Scoreboard Show, 10 until 11 o'clock. A full hour of scores and game wraps from across the state of Kansas, brought to you by Home Automotive Center and Saline Surgical Hospital. First half belonged to Hesston, 33-22. Leading scorer, Kason Richardson. He's the only one in double digits in this game with 11. Jackson Gebhardt led Southeast of Saline with 7. Underway, Hesston starts out with the basketball as we are underway, third quarter action. Here's a drive to the basket. Braden Schilling tries baseline. Now he'll kick it back out. Low post, deep entry, a brief double team by Southeast on defense. Now they'll go back to the corner to Braden Schilling. Back out up top. Hesston showing some patience here offensively. Here's a drive by Schilling. Gets to the basket, puts a shot up. That's no good. Jackson Gebhardt had a chance at a rebound, but Hesston Swather came flying in from behind and knocked it out of bounds. Your thoughts on that first half, Tyler?
Well, it was extremely fast, and it's extremely ironic that has to be the only 30-second stretch of basketball we've had tonight without a shot. Everything just kind of slowed down. Solid defense from Southeast. You've got to slow Hesston down, and I don't know if you can. I mean, that's why they are who they are, but that's what Southeast has to try to do offensively, and a lot of that will come, from their own offense.
Hesston just got a turnover from Southeast, their 10th of the game, and what we saw in that turnover is something that I'm very impressed with here early on, but that's what happens when you get really 6 starters back from a team that had 2 losses a year ago, is the help side defense, and the rotation is already there for Hesston. Here's a three-pointer put up by the Swathers, bounces off the rim 3 times, nearly found its way in. It will not, but they keep it on their offensive end.
Without a doubt, when going back to that 5-6 starters returning,
yeah.
People don't realize the cohesiveness the defensive unit needs. A lot of times we see the offensive side as Richardson has another bucket there. We see what happens offensively, but it's defense. It's how everybody gels. It's how you rotate. It's how you help on the weak side. That's what creates, good teams and makes them great.
Brian Banks muscles his way into the paint. He has 5 now. Kason Richardson scored before that for Hesston. He has 13 to lead all scorers. 35-24, our score. Hesston now working on offense. About 2 minutes into this third quarter. Little low post deep entry. Hesston will kick it out. Fake a 3. Now over to Arnold. We'll take a couple of drives there, but Brian Banks being very pesky on defense. Now a shot put up and a block. Richardson goes to the floor as Eli Sawyers and Spano Lund there. I believe it's going to be Sawyers with the foul. And it will be. It's his second personal foul, first team foul of the second half.
Well, and Richardson, little ball fake there at about 20 feet away. You have to respect the shot. He's great off the dribble, draws the foul.
Leading scorer coming back from last year's squad at 17 points a game. Any one of these guys, though, on any given night, you look at the rest of the roster, they all average about 8 points, but they could all go double figures any given night. They all deserve respect. There's nobody that you can bring off somebody that might be a weak link and help out on Richardson because they're all good.
No, you're exactly right, and they've shown that they can all score from everywhere. They can all bang down low. They're big bodies, so if they get a mismatch, they're going to highlight that any given night. And I think that's why you'll see that many players, averaging near 10 points a game.
Richardson got one of those free throws out of the 2, 36-24 now, back to a 12-point lead. Here's Hesston now on a run out, and a blocking foul will be called on Southeast of Saline.
Right there, Eli Harris just got caught in the wrong spot. You want him to flail down, fall. We kind of saw maybe an arm extend from the Hesston, from the Swather, but it's just a tough situation right there.
Foul is called on the floor, so it'll stay with the Swathers underneath their own basket. This 12-point lead equals their biggest lead of the game. They had that momentarily in the second quarter before Southeast cut it to 9, and now Kason Richardson gives them a 14-point lead. 38-24 our score. Southeast looking for a lifeline here as Southeast is being outscored 5-2 early on in this second half. Gebhardt with it, driving along the baseline, and a blocking foul will be called. See if they call this a shooting foul or not. Jackson's going to the free throw line. They're going to call it on the floor.
If you had a camera isolated on Jackson Gebhardt, you'd have no idea what was going on in the game most of the time. He likes to play that kind of fun game. He went to the free throw line, acted like he was taking a couple of shots there. He knew the foul was on the call. He's definitely a young man that has fun what he's doing. You'd love to see it.
Here's an inbounds now. Eli Harris has it. Looking down deep low. He's trying to go to Brian Banks, and a foul will be called here on Hesston. Hesston looked like they had the front position on Brian Banks. Brian did everything he could to get to that ball, and they're going to call it on Braden Esau. You can almost set your clock by substitutions from Greg Raleigh and that Hesston bench, too. He subs about every minute.
And if you set your clock, it would annoy you. It would just keep going off. The alarm would not stop.
Banks looks inside for Eli Sawyers. He wanted Eli to put up shop there at the low block. Eli floated up high, and it's the third turnover for Southeast of Saline here in this second half. 5:07 left to go, 38-24 our score. 14-point lead by the Swathers, their biggest of the game so far. Hesston now working their high-low offense. They go back in deep to Richardson, and he scores again. 7 points in the quarter for Kason Richardson. He has 18 points.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's so big for kids to put huddle highlights all over social media. And if you watched his, you wouldn't be blown away because nothing's just blows out. But he's just so crafty. He knows where he can get to. He gets close to the bucket. He makes those shots. His body creates easy shots.
There's a three-pointer missed by Gebhardt. Hesston on the run out. They get another 2. Braden Schilling has a half a dozen. And this one's getting away from Southeast of Saline. An 18-point lead now by the Swathers. And a timeout called by Southeast. 4:19 left to go here in the third quarter. A big lead for Hesston and a full timeout taken by Southeast of Saline. Back with more Trojan basketball. It's brought to you by Assaria Hardware and Oil right here on KINA.
Nowadays, everything's on our phones. So why not have access to your bank at your fingertips as well? With the First Bank Kansas mobile app, you can deposit checks, pay bills, and transfer money straight from your smartphone. You can bank from the comfort of your home and have 24-hour access to your money. First Bank Kansas makes mobile banking quick, secure, and convenient. Download the app today or give them a call at one of their locations in Salina, Ellsworth, McPherson, Abilene, Lindsborg, or Hutchinson. Member FDIC.
A strong work ethic. Takes pride in a job well done. Sweats over the details. This is you. But to get an honest day's work, you need a response. You need a callback. You need a job. Contact Express Employment Professionals. We can help because we understand what it takes to get a job. It takes more than just online searches to land a job.
Get to know Express Employment Professionals by calling 825-4545.
You're listening to Southeast Trojan Hoops on KINA.
Salina Central tonight, they won over campus 64-21. Another big blowout as we check the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. Russell's new coach, Lexi Schamberg, started in a big way. So the Lady Broncos beat Stockton 72-41. A couple of finals for you in girls play on the Bennington State Bank scoreboard. Southeast comes out of the timeout. They come away empty on their offensive end, and a blocking foul will be called against Southeast of Saline on the other end. Richardson going to the hole.
Well, again, it's Richardson going to the hole, like you said. And what I said earlier, it was no disrespect to Kason Richardson. He looks extremely smooth. He just creates very easy shots by getting himself in a good position. He's playing at a different speed mentally, it looks like, than everybody else.
Yeah, absolutely. And it goes back to that comparison I think I had with Jackson Gebhardt on the football field. He takes off scrambling and running, and it doesn't look like he's doing anything. All of a sudden, he's 30 yards downfield.
You're exactly right.
Hesston struggling now with the defensive pressure provided by Southeast of Saline. Luke Gebhardt leading the way with that pressure. As him and Spano Lund switch screens at the top, and now a drive and a bucket is good. And, boy, right now, Kason Richardson is the difference in this game. He has scored all but 2 points for Hesston here in this third quarter, and he now has a chance at a three-point play. Basket went in, and he was fouled.
Great little crossover at the top of the key. Had a 15-footer, got some body, finished the bucket. Tough play.
Jackson Gebhardt guilty of the foul. That's his second. Fourth team foul for Southeast of Saline. Richardson also makes the free throw. So having himself a really good quarter here with 10 points, sitting on 21 right now is Kason Richardson. A little full court pressure here. And the man-to-man set might be a run and jump for Hesston. Spano Lund gets through it, pitches out to Luke Gebhardt. Three-pointer on the way, hits the rim and dies, no good. And a rebound underneath by Nick Arnold. Here comes Arnold up the floor. Spins off Jackson Gebhardt at the timeline. Now gets in the paint. Plays it out for a three-pointer. It's an air ball from Braden Esau. Now back inside. A putback is good by Ty Schroeder. Schroeder has a half a dozen with 6. 47-24. It's a 23-point lead. Spano Lund with a shot up, partially blocked, taken away by Braden Esau. And now finally a foul call on Southeast as Camden just kept going at it. This game is almost a carbon copy of the girls' contest, isn't it?
It really is. I mean, there's only so long you can compete with these teams without executing. We're seeing right now that the X's and O's might not be there, but the execution is just not happening for Southeast Saline. It is with Hesston, and they've got the horses. They've got the swathers to go out there and mow you down. Or I'm not good with my farm technology, but they're going to take you down.
You could say that they're making hay right now with their
swathers. There you go.
Here's a three-pointer, and boy, Hesston is rolling. Jackson Humphreys, he has 7. Didn't score in the opening quarter, but since then, been holding his own. Here's Gebhardt getting into the lane. He'll pitch out to Banks for a three-pointer that's up no good. And again, you can hear the Hesston crowd in the background. And another foul against Southeast of Saline.
Well, I'll tell you, we've talked about Kason Richardson the entire half, the entire game. And right now he's on the bench, and he's the first person up. He's the first person yelling. He's the first person cheering. But the impressive thing is Hesston hasn't skipped a beat offensively with him on the bench.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the type of leader you want. Only a junior, unfortunately, for the rest of us, for the rest of the state. The kid's really impressive tonight.
50-24 the score, as Hesston continues to work and hold Southeast of Saline down here. 2:25 left to go, third quarter. There's a pitch out, and Hesston just made their first mistake of the half. They're going to throw into the backcourt where it's going to be picked up in a violation. That is their first turnover of the second half. It's only turnover number 6 for the night. And boy, when you get a team that can score and play defense and they take care of the basketball, that's a dangerous team.
Especially night one. Where's this sloppy play?
Right. Yeah, not much. Not much of it there.
Not at all.
Here's Brian Banks, little drive. He'll kick it out to Luke Gebhardt. Luke wants to drive. He played it into Drake Augustine. The ball goes through Drake's hands. There's a run out now for Hesston. Southeast not giving up on it, though. Michael Murray hung with it all the way down to the baseline, and it goes out of bounds, and Southeast of Saline will get it back. Nice play there by Michael Murray. So on the floor right now, it's Stump, Murray, Jackson Gebhardt, Drake Augustine, and Brian Banks. Full court pressure being applied here by Hesston. Banks is having trouble getting it in. Finally, he does so to Michael Murray. Murray now, lob pass to Banks. Back to Murray. He'll bring it up across the timeline. Under 2 minutes left to go. Third quarter. 50-24, Hesston. Stump has it as he works around to Augustine. Now to Banks. He'll trigger a three off the front of the rim. No good. Back the other way. Here comes Hesston on a run out. No safety for Southeast. Now Banks will get back. Doesn't matter, though. Arnold floats in for the lay-in. He has 6. Boy, this transition game is fun to watch, unless you're on the receiving end.
It really is. You have to be fundamentally sound on the backside. Offensively, if you put a shot up, you've got to send somebody back, or else Hesston's going to kill you with easy buckets on the other side.
Here's Luke Gebhardt with a three. That's no good. Here comes the run out again by Hesston. Drake Augustine, though, is going to stop that with a deflection. Ball on the floor. Luke Gebhardt hits the floor. Augustine back on the floor as these two sophomores getting after it here for Southeast of Saline. Ends up Hesston with an open corner three, and they drain it. Ty Schroeder.
Extremely unselfish basketball. 2 or 3 players had wide open shots, kept passing around. Ty Schroeder drains it.
Now Schroeder with the steal. He's going to come down and try Grant Stump at the rim and make the lay-in. There's also a foul. Schroeder off the bench with 7 points in the quarter, 11 for the game. And he will get a chance to go to the free throw line and make it 12. And this one's getting ugly. Southeast with just 2 points here in this quarter.
If you look up and down this roster, not a lot of seniors on it either.
Right. Kason Richardson back into the game. Yes, Hesston just went on that run without him. Free throw up and good by Ty Schroeder. 58-24. And we're in the neighborhood of a running clock in the fourth quarter now, my friend. Southeast throws it away. Augustine looking for a backdoor cut there from Luke Gebhardt. Turnover number 5 in the quarter. Full timeout. Southeast of Saline will take it as well. 38.3 left here in the third. 58-24. Hesston leading it big on KINA.
Congratulations, you're having a little girl.
At that moment, everything changed. Our hopes and dreams for ourselves were instantly replaced by our hopes and dreams for her. We got life insurance policies from Shelter Insurance, so that regardless of what life throws at us, we'll still be able to provide the world to her.
Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
See Kelly Kitchener today for a free personal protection review. When everything changes for you, visit Shelter Agent Kelly Kitchener.
At Commercial Tire Centers, we know you have many places to be and lots of things to see. Your tires are everything, and we are here to serve you. From the smallest lawnmower tire to passenger tires, farm tires, and the largest truck and commercial tires, call Commercial Tire. Oil changes, suspension service, alignment, too many things to mention. The trusted tire experts are at Commercial Tire Center.
Commercial Tire Centers, where service is everything.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline Basketball on KINA.
34 seconds left to play here in the third quarter. 58-24 out of a Southeast of Saline full timeout. Southeast playing on defense, trying to end this quarter strong here and getting a stop. On the floor for the first time for Hesston is Max Werner. Richardson will back it up. Southeast of Saline playing man-to-man. He goes to Arnold at the free throw line. He was looking for a backdoor cut for Ty Schroeder, and Hesston will turn it over. So three quick turnovers there for the Swathers. But it's not slowing down their scoring any as they've exploded here in this third quarter of action for 25 points. 6 seconds left here. Southeast of Saline brings it across the timeline. Augustine has it. Now to Luke Gebhardt. Now to Michael Murray. He'll shoot the three at the buzzer, and it goes home. So there's your diamond in the rough for Southeast of Saline. It's Michael Murray in the corner with a three, and we finish the third quarter 58-27. Back with more Southeast of Saline Trojan basketball. It's brought to you by Asaria Hardware and Oil right here on KINA.
PRP, or platelet-rich plasma injection therapy, has received quite a bit of attention since it's used by many professional athletes. Professional football players like Peyton Manning and Jamal Charles have used PRP therapy for sports injuries and to avoid surgery. But you don't have to be a world-class athlete with millions of dollars for this cutting-edge therapy. PRP is available to you in the Saline Pain Clinic. Call the doctors for a consultation and see if this treatment is right for you. See them at 200 South 5th in the Salina Surgical Arts Center.
When termites strike your home or business, you want to fight back with the best. Hesston Termite and Pest Control to the rescue. With over 57 years experience, they offer the best of options, including the new BASF High Precision Injection Treatment. Don't let termites get you down. With one phone call to Haspens, they can put one in the win column for you. Call Haspen Termite and Pest Control today or visit HaspenTermite.com and follow them on Facebook.
You're listening to Southeast of Saline Hoops on KINA.
Fourth and final quarter action here from Southeast of Saline. 58-27. Hesston rolling here over the Southeast of Saline Trojans. Just 5 points in that quarter for Southeast of Saline. Tyler Smith, while Hesston was rolling, they outscored Southeast of Saline 25-5 in the third.
Well, we talked about this being a heavyweight fight. We talked about the first half, two teams just feeling each other out. Sorry, after the first quarter, I think you could definitely say Hesston came after halftime with a knockout blow. I mean, they knew what they wanted to do. They did it. They're impressive. Yeah. This will be a great time to see, what you can build on in the fourth quarter for Southeast of Saline. You're playing the teams or the state's top team. Let's see what you can do, what you can build on.
Kason Richardson leads the way with 21, and it almost sounds like a cliche sometimes, but as a coach, you know that you cannot simulate this in practice. There's no way you can get this kind of work.
No way at all. And, we see this all the time with these preseason tournaments that these college teams go to. You want to play the best. I mean, nobody's going to be what they are right now when it comes to February and, hopefully March. So you want to test yourselves. And Bryson Flack, same thing with Shauna Smith. I mean, you're only going to get better. These are two great coaches with teams that they're excited about. They want to challenge themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you can sit here and talk about it all day long and ask, well, why does Coach Flack still have starters in there? Why is he playing these guys or these guys? Well, he's still working, man. This is game number one. You got to turn around and play a really good Smoky Valley team who's probably better than what they were last year coming up on Tuesday. Smoky Valley did not have a game tonight. The girls played Abilene, but understand there's still a quarantine period for the Abilene boys team for some reason, that they're not going to play Smoky Valley tonight. So those guys will come in here looking to get their feet wet on Tuesday against Southeast of Saline.
Well, like you said, there's no better practice than the game, and there's nothing better than actually having film to show these players, what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong, what we can correct. I mean, film's the greatest thing, and gosh, we've got it all over the place now.
Yeah, really do. Hesston with the basketball. It also doesn't hurt, too, and Shauna Smith kind of said this a little bit. It doesn't hurt to look at your team and say, this is where we want to be. This is the measuring stick right now in Class 3A. We talked about this Hesston team coming in. 2 losses last year. They didn't make it to the state tournament. They have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder.
Without a doubt. And if you're not trying to be the best, what are you trying to be?
Right.
And again, like we've said, both these teams, that's where they want to be. Right now, are we there? No, but you don't judge yourself at the beginning of the season. You see where you are at the end.
Southeast with the basketball. 60-27 is our score. 5:28 left to go here in the fourth. Spin move by Michael Murray. He throws it in between Gebhardt and Eli Harris over on the left-hand side. And the clock continues to roll. 5:17 left to go here in the fourth.
Well, Michael Murray just cut himself in the air, and he spent more time in the air than I would have with 3 jumps. Extremely athletic young man. Just ran out of places to throw it.
He got up in the air and had time to make decisions.
Without a doubt. I jump and just hope I can get my feet back down on the floor.
Oh, boy. 60-27, inside 5 minutes now left to play. Hesston still working it around here on offense. A little backdoor cut, and then back to a slasher who will go up and score. That's Braden Schilling. He now has 8 for the Hesston Swathers. Braden Bruner back in there also for the Swathers. And now Greg Raleigh is going to get ready to clear his bench, I'm afraid. There's a shot up and good for Eli Sawyers. Nice little entry pass there by Eli Harris. We saw that several times last year, even though Sawyers was just a freshman and Harris was a junior. Those two have a connection. I don't know if it begins with the first name or what, but, boy, their high-low game was really good.
Well, and to be honest, I think anytime you have Eli Sawyers as part of your high-low game, he can make a lot of people look good. And same thing with Eli Harris. I mean, Eli Harris has a lot of things that don't show up on the stat sheet. He's going to get an assist there, but he's kind of one of those players that gels well with others.
Isaac Sanchez, a sophomore, into the mix now for Hesston. Saw him play in the junior varsity game that was between these two squads earlier this afternoon. Hesston won that one. Also, Matthew Waltner in there. Free throw by Hesston is no good. And a foul on Braden Bruner. He missed the free throw, and then he went over the back of a Southeast player. 62-39, clock down to 3:20. Ryan Banks working against Ty Schroeder. That one goes out of bounds. It was poked out of bounds by Schroeder, so we'll stay with Southeast of Saline. Banks ready to inbound right in front of his own bench. Sawyers has it, now back to Banks. 62-29. Here's Jackson Gebhardt on the baseline drive. He'll play it back out to Harris. Now to Sawyers. He'll pop the 3, and that's good. Just silky smooth when he shoots. Eli Sawyers gets a 3. That's 5 now in the quarter for Eli. He's knocking on the door of double digits with 9.
Well, the assist again comes from Eli Harris, who just knew right away the defense was running at him. Got Sawyers in rhythm. It's a great-looking shot.
Yep, Harris made that extra pass. He could have pulled the trigger himself, but knew Sawyers had a little bit better look there off the drive from Gebhardt. Here's Gebhardt again, works his way to the elbows. He backs down Sanchez. Now it's stolen away from behind by Hesston. In transition, Southeast gets back well on defense, but Hesston rebounds their own miss, goes up and scores. That's Braden Bruner. 4 points for Bruner.
Impressive sequence from Bruner. It pops the ball away, hustles down, offensive rebound, great finish.
Now steal on defense for Hesston with 2:10 left to go as we race back the other way. Going to have time to go out and get a sandwich and maybe a drink before the scoreboard show starts at 10 o'clock. Here's Ty Schrader, who's had just a really good second half. Had 4 at halftime. Now he has 14. 151 left to go here in this one. 66-33. Hesston right now doubling up Southeast of Saline. Entry pass down to Grant Stumpf. Got buried underneath the basket. Played it back out to Sawyers. Eli now working on Schroeder. Gave it up. Now to Harris. Harris working inside to Banks. It's taken away by Isaac Sanchez. 1:30 left to go. Hesston back on the offensive end. Deep post entry. Now they'll kick it back out. Sanchez has it. Shade left, top of the circle. Here's a gamble by Banks. Can't get there. Now a momentary 5-on-4. Heston's going to pop a 3, and it's good. Matthew Waltner off the bench with his first basket. 1:07 left to play. 69-33.
I kind of feel like if I put a Hesston jersey on, I could go hit a few threes right
Probably
now.
hit a couple right now.
Everyone is scoring.
Yeah, if you're wearing a black jersey, go ahead and fire it up. There's a miss by Banks on the right wing. Hesston walking it back the other way with under a minute left to play. And we're going to see even more future Swathers. I guess they're current Swathers, but future varsity players.
These came off the second and third row, so these are
these were the
deep.
cheerleaders early on in the game that were making all the noise.
It'll be a lot quieter now.
Yeah. And at the same time, Bryson Flax is going to do that as well. He will bring in Caden Isaacson, also Drew Richardson into the game. Luke Gebhardt, Grant Stumpf, Eli Harris will stay out there. 49 seconds left to go. Little pick and pop move up here at the half-court stripe. Lets Hesston get into their offense. These are probably only 2-row Swathers instead of 5-row Swathers, but Hesston, one of the great schools in the area. Southeast and Hesston tangled up on the football field in districts for a couple of years in a row. Those were fun games. Very good Hesston teams. Isaacson's going to score off of a hustle play. Ball on the floor. His teammate flipped it up to him, and he got the lay-in. 71-33. Here's an entry pass to Grant Stumpf from Luke Gebhardt. Grant's going to score his first basket. 10 seconds left to go. See if we go back the other way here with Hesston trying to score. Looks like they're just going to run it out. And that is our final. 71-35, the number 1 ranked team in the state of Kansas, Class 3A, rolls tonight over Southeast of Saline. And it all happened basically in the third quarter when Hesston was able to outscore Southeast of Saline 25-5. 71-35, our final score. Hesston starts out 1-0. Southeast of Saline takes a loss. We'll be back on postgame. It's brought to you by L&L Advisors. We'll have a Vernon Jewelers Gym of the Game and final numbers for you. Also a conversation with Bryson Flax. It's all coming up after this on KINA.